I've been making a lot of Goan recipes lately, and why not? It's delicious. Today on Cravings Food Adventures, we're going to be making a prawn curry with bhindi and bimlis. This recipe was shared on the traditional Goan Foodies group on Facebook by my friend Mafra Dsouza-Lobo. Mafra is an avid cook of Goan cuisine and is a wealth of information. There is a difference between a prawn and a shrimp. Some people believe that the shrimp is a smaller version of a prawn. Now, if you examine them really closely, there is a distinct difference in their breeding and reproductive habits. But when you put it on a plate, they look the same. So what's in a name? Bhindi is the Hindi word for okra, also known as lady's finger. Now that always seemed like a really odd name to me. Who has fingers that look like that? Bimli, also known as bimblim, is a souring agent that grows wild in Goa. Most of the members seem to remember this growing on trees in their backyards. It is used in fish curries and shrimp curries, and it's also made into a pickle. Now, it's not that easy to find in Toronto. I was able to get my hands on a package of frozen bimlis. This does not pack quite the same punch. But if you can't find these at all, one of my members on the traditional Goan Foodies suggested using a sour starfruit instead. I'm going to be using 10 ounces, that's roughly 300 grams of prawn or shrimp. I'm going to take the shells off and I'm going to devein them. I'm also using the same weight of okra or bhindi. Now I'm just going to cut these into a couple of pieces. I've got 10 bimlis that I'm going to chop. Now, if I was using fresh bimlis, I would just slice them. But since these are frozen, have pretty much turned into mush, I'm just going to chop them very coarsely. I'm going to be using Kashmiri chilies. I've got 5 beautiful red Kashmiri chilies, as well as I've got an onion that I've sliced, and I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, and I'm just going to crush this together. Now, doing this actually draws all of the water out of the onion using the process of osmosis. In my food processor, I'm going to add the 5 Kashmiri chilies. I'm going to take the stems off. I'm going to follow that with 3 tablespoons of coriander seeds, 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds, and 1 teaspoon of peppercorns. I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of turmeric, and I'm just going to process this roughly. Next, I'm going to add 1 cup of shredded coconut, 5 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to add a little bit of water, and I'm going to process this till it's a nice paste. In a saute pan, I'm going to heat 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. Coconut oil is used widely in Goan cuisine, but also in cuisines all over coastal India. I'm going to add all of the masala paste that I ground on one side together with the onion that I crushed with salt on the other side, and I'm just going to let that saute. Once my onions are nice and golden brown, I'm going to mix everything together, and then I'm going to add the okra that I chopped up, as well as the bimlis. I'm also going to add some water. Now I'm just going to add some water in my food processor so I don't lose any of that spice paste, as well as all of the shells that I took off the shrimp earlier. I like to saute it in some oil, add a little bit of water. That packs an incredible flavor. I'm going to strain that in to my masala blend as well. I'm going to cover this and let the okra cook. Lastly, I'm going to add my prawn or my shrimp, and the reason I add it at the end is because I don't want it to overcook and turn rubbery. It really only needs about 3 to 5 minutes and it's ready to eat. I really hope you enjoyed this recipe. Thank you so much for joining me on Cravings Food Adventures. Thank you, Mafra, for sharing this recipe with me. If you want to try some of my other Goan recipes, click here for my pomfret reshad or my chicken kafrial. Both of those are delicious. I hope to see you again. Don't forget I upload new videos every Friday, so make sure you're subscribed so you're the first to see them. Until I see you again, do take care. Bye!